It was officially released in 2001, but the Japanese animated film Spirited Away is cleaning up at the box office in China now, taking more than twice as much as the Hollywood blockbuster Toy Story 4. And that despite the fact that many Chinese viewers have already seen pirated versions of Spirited Away. And not forgetting the country's historical animosity towards Japan. So what's going on? I spoke to our China media analyst, Kerry Allen.
At the end of last year, the Studio Ghibli company decided to release in China the film My Neighbor Totoro, and it was a huge sensation. It did very, very well at the Chinese box office. And decades ago, China and Japan were like sworn enemies. So to have access to anything Japanese, I mean, even something like this that's quite cute and animation was seen as slightly subversive and quite exciting. So so a lot of people had seen it at the time. They managed to get hold of bootleg copies, or they just wanted to, they were just excited about being able to have a big Totoro toy. And people want to go and see it in the cinema and have that experience all over again.
And in the same way that they'd seen My Neighbor Totoro on pirated DVDs, they've seen Spirited Away already, but they want to see it on the big screen.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, I remember when My Neighbor Totoro came out in December, people were sharing pictures of their cinema tickets. It was a really exciting thing. I mean, even though the film was released over 20 years ago, it's a nostalgia thing. It's, I remember this back in the day, can go with all my friends, we can remember this all over again. And people have been sharing their pictures again of their cinema tickets and saying that it's brilliant. And just generally anyway, the idea that you could go and see a Japanese film in the cinema is quite exciting. That a lot of people in China feel that domestic productions are just not up to the standards of other countries. So this is a film that was acclaimed when it first came out, and even though it's an old film, people loved the idea that they could go and see something like this. It's still very, very powerful and still has a huge impact.
Does it signal a change by the Chinese authorities or even the Chinese people to welcoming Japanese films and culture?
Absolutely, it does. I mean, ever since Xi Jinping came into power, he's made efforts to through various initiatives and various schemes to improve connections with Shinzo Abe in Japan. I mean, the idea that they could even stand in the same room and shake hands was a big deal in China. But also, I mean, this ties into the whole US-China trade spat as well, because previously it used to be that China and the US were quite close, but China's now trying to look more towards the east and its connections with countries that are close to it. And as relationships are getting better between China and Japan, there's opportunities for more Japanese culture to come back within the mainland. People are very enthusiastic about this and quite excited.
Our China media analyst, Kerry Allen.